couple of weeks ago, I talked about what LT Grade turning 10 meant for me, the mainstream animation networks as a whole, and the differences between where we were then versus now. There's no doubt that watching an episode of LT Grade will fill me with nostalgia, but ChalkZone is grandly different. I love ChalkZone. It is, for me, one of the favorite cartoons of all time. When I start an episode of ChalkZone and hear the intro, I have to turn the volume up to max and hear it in its full glory, only to have the feeling of an epic concert ending by the time the opening credits roll. ChalkZone premiered as the first short in 1998 on Nick's Oh Yeah Cartoon segment, and got its own series, which launched in 2002, with the highest rated premiere of any Nick series, live action or animated, up to that point. Though it lasted officially until 2008, Nick cut the series after 40 completed episodes. That's right, ChalkZone only had 40 episodes. Nick stretched the premiere of 3 of the last ChalkZone episodes from an expected air date in 2005 all the way to 2008. In an era where there are series that spill out just 40 episodes in a season, it's weird to think about a cartoon getting only 40 episodes in its lifetime. ChalkZone follows the adventures of a 10-year-old boy who gets a watch stuck on his arm. Oh, sorry, wrong 10-year-old. ChalkZone follows Rudy Tabooty's adventures in and out of ChalkZone, a world where everything that's drawn with chalk is made real. I find myself having to explain my generation's life in elementary school, which didn't consist of smartboards or incredible technology, but usually a simple black or green chalkboard where teachers would write down instructions and lessons using chalk and would clean the board using an eraser. Getting the chance to draw on that board was legendary because unless your teacher was chill about it, you'd rarely get the opportunity. Anyway, the series would follow the adventures of Rudy in and out of the ChalkZone, and outside of this magical universe, Rudy was just your average 5th grader who loved drawing but couldn't catch a break, whether it was from Reggie Bullner, the class bully, or Mr. Wiltner, the class teacher that saw drawing as useless. 5th grade isn't all bad as Rudy becomes friends with a new girl he crushes on named Penny. The pair not only hang out together at school or at their houses, but go on adventures in ChalkZone as well. One of the things I loved about the first season was how logical Penny acted toward the idea of ChalkZone. Of course, if a nerd that only believes in science logically thinks about ChalkZone, it shouldn't be possible. Over time, she comes to accept the world powered by imaginary things and regularly even spends time with Rudy in the zone. Snap is another awesome character that makes the series all the more lovable as he's just an idea of what Rudy thought was cool in his own mind when he drew it years prior. And as we see throughout the series, different people make different character designs and have different ideas of what makes something cool. This idea of unique creativity is another reason I put this at the top of my favorites, as different people think of different things, and that's just usual. Another thing is animation. I do prefer the original season's art direction as all the characters look more specially drawn than when in later seasons they look more like your average 2000s hand-drawn animated character. But anyway, I love the choice of the design. All the characters are drawn in a way that would have been expected in a ChalkZone. Today that makes logical sense, but realistically, imagine if characters were drawn in any other way. I don't think it would fit ChalkZone if the characters weren't drawn the way that they were designed. But again, that's my own opinion, and there are different opinions that probably would prefer different art directions, right? This series sits deep into my heart because of its use of imagination. The idea that Rudy can escape to a place of his own invention and ideas is really awesome. The utilization of creativity is on an epic scale, and the fact that Rudy would find peril in his own creations added a dimension of intensity to situations that found our main character losing the magical chalk, or having to make a new portal to get out of the ChalkZone, or just trying to get away. When Cartoon Network premiered 12 Forever on their YouTube channel, I lost my mind because I thought the creators had seemed to make a new form ChalkZone that would have been able to attract audiences and had a new era of creativity. It's the creativity and the imagination that I found with that series that I love so much about ChalkZone itself. But what do you guys think of ChalkZone? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. It's crazy that it's 15 years old now. But thanks for watching. I'm Brian Swan. As always, stay tuned for more.